Number 9 asks us to solve a log equation. So when you solve log equations, the first thing you have to do is you want to combine this all together into a single logarithm. So you want to combine all these together. So first we'll take care of the plus, and we can take care of the minus, or actually there's a way that we can do this all together. Let's go ahead and do this all in one step. Now you don't have to do it this way. If you want to show it 2 separate steps, you can. Anything that has a positive, a plus, that's going to go on the top of the fraction bar. Anything with a negative in front of it, that's going to go on the bottom. That's kind of the shortcut way of doing that. So because I got a plus here, I'm going to do x minus 6 and x minus 4. That's going to go on top because there's a plus sign there. And then the minus sign, that means there'll be an x that's going to go down below, and then I have it equal to 2. That's always the first thing you want to do whenever you have these log problems. You always want to combine them down into a single logarithm first. The reason why you want to do that is because then we're going to change this from the log form into exponential form. The way you do that is you take the base raised to the number after the equal sign will equal whatever you have left over here. So I have the base of the log, 2, raised to the power after the equal sign, which coincidentally is also 2, and that's going to equal x minus 6, x minus 4, all over x. Okay? So that's the first thing. That's the second thing you do. So first you combine to a single logarithm, and then you change it into exponential form next. Okay, so I can write this as 4 over 1, and then I can go ahead and multiply that top part out. Let's go ahead and do that. So I get x squared minus 4 minus 6 is minus 10x. Negative 6 and negative 4 is positive 24, and I have x down below. To get rid of the fraction, what we're going to do is cross multiply. I'm going to multiply this diagonal, set it equal to this diagonal multiplied together. So if I multiply these, I get x squared minus 10x plus 24. And that's going to equal, if I multiply that, that's going to equal 4x. Remember these kind of quadratics, you have to set them equal to 0. So we're going to subtract the 4x from both sides. So if I do negative 10 minus 4, I get negative 14x plus 24 equals 0. Next, I have a quadratic, so I need to factor it. So if I factor it, I get numbers that multiply to make 24 and add to be 14. That's going to be 2 and 12. And then I have to make both of them negative, because 2 negatives will give you a positive 24, and you add them, you'll get negative 14. Now let's go ahead and set both of them individually equal to 0. You get 2 answers. You get x is equal to 2 and x is equal to 12. Now on these log problems, you must put your answers back into the parentheses to make sure you don't get a negative inside the log. Now you don't have to actually algebraically check all those, but what we want to do is put this in. Now if I put 2 in, for instance, into the first one, I get a negative inside there. So I know that's not going to work. So if I get a negative inside the log, I got to eliminate that one as one of my answer choices. So if I put 2 and 12 and don't do a check, you're going to get a point deduction on that, because again, you got to make sure you check them back in the original one. So if this number makes anything inside the parentheses, doesn't matter which of the logs, any of them turn out to be a negative, that means that answer cannot be used. So your final answer is going to be you have one answer only on this one, and your final answer will just be 12.